author, we will think that we have to publish in a very high impact journal or very reputed journal, which is everywhere in this world. But from reader's point of view, we focus as an article, means what kind of information we want. And another important thing, more publications we need, but we have to read less. That's how we think. We are in a opposite way indeed. So key elements of publishing. Before publishing, what are the aspects we have to look for? Ethical issues. We have to make sure the publication or the research work does not have any ethical issues. Then we have to focus on style and language, structure of the paper, what are the things we are going to present in the paper in the form of components, then how to submit the article in a particular journal, and second and the final thing is publishers process, how they will do, what are the peer review process. Ethical issue, before writing any paper, disclosure of conflict of interest, this is very important. Acknowledgement of funding source, if there is any funding for your research you have to mention. Then you cannot manipulate the images. Then remaining things are very simple, the online submission. And if you need to give, or if you want to give any supplemental information with your we can submit with some supplemental information with your article. For health sciences, submission of a clinical trials to a central registry and institutional review board approval. These are some of the aspects you have to have prior to writing any article in natural science, or you can say life science, but it will be little bit varied to the social science aspects. So style and language, refer to the journal's author guide for notes on style. Some authors write their paper with a specific journal in mind, others write the paper and then adapt it to fit to the style of a journal they subsequently choose. So there are two ways. You will be deciding that I want to publish my article in this journal. So you will be writing the paper according to that journal in the beginning itself. In another way, some people will be writing the research or writing their information, then they will see for which journal it will be suited. So naturally, if English is not our first language, so we have to find a native English speaker if possible to review the content and language. But mostly for developing countries, it is very difficult. But we have a lot of friends and colleagues who are well versed in language, so that we can seek the help of those friends. Regardless of primary language, find a colleague or editor. That's what I told you. So the tempo is, I don't care what you think. My paper is dynamic and stimulating. That's how you have to believe when you are writing. What are the different type of articles generally submitted to the journals? They are original article, review article, a case report, maybe letter to the editor, some point of technique, editorial comment. In this session, we will see the most important one, that is original article, how to write a original article. Because once you are well versed with this original article, the remaining things are a small modification that you can write at any point of your career. So original article, for that the idea or the subject is very important. So there is a essential requirement for any original article. It is a basic triad. What subject or what you are going to write, that is the first one. Then the subject can be structured one, how to structure the subject, then the mechanics of writing. When we understand these three aspects, you can successfully write research article. First one, subject. It should be a worthwhile to report. It cannot be anything that comes into your mind. You have to have a relative and relevant scientific information that can be the subject. So there should be an addition to the already existing literature. Your subject can help to improve already existing literature. So first we should know the literature in a particular chosen field. Make sure that you are not repeating what had been done successfully before. That's why you have to read a lot what has been done in a particular field, maybe a life science or any branch of science or social science, what has been done before and how you are going to add to that. It is better to spend 2 weeks reading in the library than 2 years working in the lab. Once you read and have a conclusion that what has been done, then only you can start doing your work, because without reading and without knowing what has been done, whatever you are doing, it's not going to be the fruitful one. Do not waste your time in writing a paper which will never see daylight. That means you cannot write or you cannot spend time which will not get published because what has been already done. So what could be the basic structure of manuscript? Scientific writing follows a rigid structure. We cannot change that structure. A format developed over hundreds of years. Consequently, a paper can be read at several levels. Some people just will refer to the title. It's very common. We will see the title and we will know whether this is relevant to our area of research. If not, we will leave. We will not read that. Others may read only the title and abstract. Maybe it may be something relevant in the title, so we'll see the abstract. Then others will read the paper for deeper understanding. Once we understand that abstract is very much suitable for our area of interest or our ideas, then only we'll go deep into the paper. So what are the components of a paper? A title, it should clearly describe the content. Authors, ensures recognition for the writer who are writing the paper. Abstract, what we have done in this paper. Keywords, which ensures the article is correctly identified in abstracting and indexing services. Introduction, what is the problem? Methods, how the data were collected. Results, describes what was discovered through your research. Discussion, it discuss the implications of the findings. Acknowledgement, so you can give always acknowledgement in your research paper, those who had helped to write the paper or to do your research. References, ensures previously published work which has to be recognized. Then you can supply supplemental information, which is the data for the expert reader. Excuse me. Authors listing, only include those who have made an intellectual contribution to the research. You cannot write my nephew is very close to me, or my friend is one who I love him very much. For that purpose, we cannot add his name in the research article. Or those who will publicly defend the data and conclusions and who have approved the final version, means those who have contributed, those who have read, and those who have created the intellectual thought process. The order of the names of the authors can vary from discipline to discipline. Sometime I will discuss those things. In some fields, the corresponding author's name appears first. Maybe the person who is guiding for your PhD or research work, sometime he will become the corresponding author and he will be the first person. And sometime it happened in opposite also. So title, describe the paper's content clearly, precisely, including keywords. Is the advertisement for the article. Title is the advertisement. When we need to make your article publicly, or it has to be many times read and it has to be many times downloaded, means you have to publish your article with proper advertisement. Do not use abbreviations and jargons, means you cannot write very technical terms in the title. Search engines indexing databases depend on the accuracy of the title since they use the keywords to identify relevant articles. So this is how the proper manuscript structure is: title, authors, institutions, running title, keywords, word count, corresponding author, second title page. So the title page must have all this information. Never forget to mention any one of this. So the title should be informative, specific, comprehensive, and accurate, stating exactly what you mean. Convey the maximum information with the minimum of words. The main issue of the study and the type of the study. You have to mention this clearly in your title. State the subject, never the conclusion. Your title should not conclude anything. Should be considered again and again when paper is finished. So title is the one which can be given at the end of the writing. The final title is the last sentence to be written in the paper. The authors, who should be an author? An author must have contributed something worthwhile, means thinking, thought process, or performing diagnostic or therapeutic techniques, who is carrying out the research, collecting data, and who is writing. So those can be eligible for being an author for an article. Then when we decide authors, who can be the first author? So simply who has done the most work. Then generally in research areas, we give the advantage to the junior. The junior first, the senior, the last. For two others, first publication give the advantage to the junior, second publication, redress and balance. It depends. Papers from thesis, definitely when you are writing a paper from thesis, a thesis is essentially personal project. The name of the candidate should be the first. The most senior person is the last. Be very careful to use only one name with the same spelling for all your publication. Once you decided to publish, when you have a lot of information to publish, when you are in a mind or when you are in a progress to write lot of research paper, fix one particular name for all your publication. Means sometime you will add your first name in the first place, then your father name or surname in the second place. It cannot be vice versa in the next publication. So when you fix your first name in the first place and followed by your surname, all the time you stick to your name in this pattern only. That will help to identify you in articles wherever it may be, or all around the globe, it will be easily identified. Institution, how can we write the name of the institutions? To be written in the title page only, it should not be written anywhere else. Do not write institutions inside the article. Do not write information inside the article that can identify the names of the authors. It should never be done. So title page, short running title, keywords, it should be searchable in the bedline, and word count 2000 to 3000 words. It depends, not for the title, it depends for the whole article. Sometime they will say you have to stick to this much of words only. Some article or some journals, they will ask for you to write the article within 1500 words. Some people will say 3000, or some people will say 7 or 8 pages, like that. Then corresponding author, who is communicating. Corresponding author is the one who is communicating the article with the journal. So we have to give full address of the corresponding author. So second title page, this is second title page generally used for reviewing purpose. It will not have the name of authors, just the title only. So it should include only title, no author's name, no institutions. This page will be used for the review purpose and process. Then we come to abstract. What is abstract? Mostly abstracts, every journal limits the word usage. Maybe some journal will ask you to write the abstract in 300 words, or sometime they will give you such structured abstract. I will discuss what is structured abstract in subsequent slides. So briefly summarize the problem, the method, the results, and the conclusion. What is abstract is very simple. So what is the problem you have selected, and what are the methods you have chosen, and what kind of results you have got, and what is the conclusion? The reader can decide whether or not to read the whole article. Together, the title and the abstract should stand on their own. The title and the abstract are the very key information. Many authors write the abstract last so that it accurately reflects the content of the paper. So you please remember the abstract and the titles. These are the things you have to write at the end of the research paper. Means when you finish writing all the paper, then only you have to write the abstract and give a suitable title. So abstract, the first part that appears, the last part to be written will be discussed at the end. So introduction, what introduction or how you can give introduction to your research or the information which you have. So clearly state the problem being investigated, background that explains the problem, why, and reasons for conducting the research. Summarize relevant research to provide context. State how your work differs from published work. This is very important. You cannot keep on giving information what has been already known. So identify the questions you are trying to answer through your research. Explain what other finding, if any, you are challenging or extending, and briefly describe the experiment, hypothesis, research question, general experimental design or method. So these are the points that has to be compressed to make your introduction. So general advice, introduction must be short and to the point. The reader can gain the main body of the paper. It should be easy to read. Do not use too many references. The references can be used in more number for discussion. The reviewer asks the following questions from the introduction point of view. Are the objectives are clear? Is the importance of the study adequately emphasized? Is the subject matter of the study is new? Is previous work on the subject adequately cited? So these are the aspects that are frequently asked from reviewer's point. So materials and methods, what are the fundamental parts? Full description of the materials must be there, full description of the methods, full description of the type of study, and you have to mention about if there is any statistical methods which are used in your study. So methods, provide the reader enough details so they can understand and replicate your research. Explain how you studied the problem, identify the procedures you followed, and order these chronologically where possible. Explain new methodology in detail, otherwise name the method and cite the previously published work. So if you have adapted any new methodology in your study, you have to explain in detail. Or if you are following any other existing method, just simply mention the name of that method and cite it. Include the frequency of observation, what type of data were recorded. So these are the information must be there in your method section. Be precise in describing measurements and include errors of measurement or research design limits. You have to always state what kind of limitation with your methods that you have adapted for your research. So Gerald had begun to think that his methodology was too detailed. So you can cut short it. So general advice, only new methods are described in detail, not every method. Previously published methods, generally it is enumeration, name of the method and reference. Uncommon, sometime short summary and reference. Do not lose your objective. All methods used should be devoted to satisfying the objective. So the methods which you are coming across cannot be included in your article, which you have used and which is very essential for your subject should be added. General advice, ethical permission must be acknowledged in the method section when you are using animals or any life form. For example, human being, when you are taking clinical trials, then you have to write the ethical issues and proper conflict of interest, proper ethical consent. All those information must be there in your materials and method section. So evaluation of the materials method, the reviewer asks you the following questions. Is the study population detailed adequately? For example, you cannot make any study with a single person when you are taking human as a sample. Are the methods described well enough to reproduce the experiment? When you are giving a methodology, that method must be used and it should be able to provide the researcher or reader to do the experiment on his own. Is the study design is clear or statistical methods are included? These are the points are looked upon by the reviewers. So then comes to the results. The objectively present your findings and explain what was found. So what you have found in your research. Show that your new results are contributing to the body of scientific knowledge. So whatever you have discovered, whether it is helpful for the progress of scientific knowledge. Follow a logical sequence based on the tables and the figures presenting in the findings to answer the question or hypothesis. Whatever the kind of research you are doing, you will be having certain kind of hypothesis or questions. Based on that only you will be formulating your research. So whether your results are suiting or answering your queries. Figure should have brief description, which is called a legend, providing the reader sufficient information to know how the data were produced. So results, what are the fundamental parts? Presentation of results and interpretation of the results. These are very important. So general advice, do not write any result for a method not mentioned in the section of materials and method. Sometime you will be having a slight varied result, but for that the method you would not written in your materials and method section. Such results should not be mentioned in your result section. Result must be written in a very clear, non-equivocal, non-confusing manner. Avoid redundancy. Each information must be mentioned only once. Do not repeat the same result everywhere in your article. So only relevant results related to the aim of the study should be mentioned. Do not distract the attention of the reader by irrelevant results. So in comparative studies, each comparison should be provided by its own statistical evaluation. Each information must be objective. Avoid using bizarre words, example most, some, probably, like that. I will explain how we can use equivalent words for this. Do not lose your objective. Each result should be useful to support the aim of the study. So what are the reviewers' point? Can the reader assess the results based on the data provided? Is the information straightforward and not confusing? Are there adequate controls or statistical methods are appropriate? So these are the aspects in results are looked upon by the reviewers. So discussion, this is very important and essential part of your research article or manuscript. So the fundamental parts of the discussion should include this aspect in step-by-step manner. Introduction, discussion of the results, new additions provided by your study and the limitations of your study. These are the key aspects we have to focus. Describe what your results mean in context of what was already known about the subject. So this is kind of introduction. Indicate how the results relate to the expectation and to the literature previously cited. So what kind of information you are trying to convey based on your research as well as previously available information. Explain how the research has moved the body of scientific knowledge forward. This is very essentially, you have to think deeper, because this is what the focus point is. What you have done and how it is going to helpful for the progress of scientific knowledge. So focus more on this aspect. Do not extend your conclusions beyond what is directly supported by your results. You cannot speculate based on your research, you cannot speculate too much. You can say that this is going to be in this way. You can mention it, but you cannot speculate too much that this is going to happen like this. You cannot conclude. Avoid undue speculation. Outline the next steps for further study. You can say that this is how it can be extended so that it can happen like that. So general advice, results must be discussed in a respective, logical, clear manner. Each issue must be discussed in only one place. Avoid repetition of ideas. So do not return to discuss previously discussed issue. Avoid opinion bias. All important previous studies must be highlighted regardless of their results, whether with or against your results. It doesn't matter. Sometimes the finding or the one which you are quoting may be against your result, but it doesn't matter. You can refer it. So what are the reviewers' point? Do the authors comment adequately on all their results? So you have mentioned various results in your result section, and whether you have discussed all of them. Have the authors explained why and how their study differs from others already published? This is very important. That's what people look for. Do the authors discuss the potential problems and the limitations with their study? So you cannot keep on telling only the positive aspect of your study, whether you have any limitations and whether these limitations are mentioned in your article. That's what the reviewer looks. Are the author's conclusions supported by the results? Whether you are concluding based on your result or you are simply giving your conclusion. This is also another aspect where the reviewers look about your article. Summary. It's very essential and heart of your research article. Summary can be or could be written as a separate section or as the last paragraph of the discussion. It should stress on the most relevant findings of the study. It is the take-home message of the study. Whenever we need to study the article, mostly we used to study the summary so that we'll get every information. It is a digest of the whole study. It is not repetition of the abstract. We must remember it is not this repetition of abstract. It is about only the conclusion. It justifies and explains the conclusion of the study. So references, once we concluded, we have to add references. Whenever you draw upon previously published work, you must acknowledge the source. Any information not from your experiment and not common knowledge should be recognized by the citation. How references are presented varies considerably. Refer to the notes for authors for specific journal. Avoid references that are difficult to find. Avoid listing related references that were not important to the study. So there are commonly used reference style, Harvard reference style. I will explain one or two, and most of the time how you have to make the references. These informations are clearly mentioned in the instruction for authors section in the journal website. So you have to stick to the journal's website's instruction for how to mention your references for your article. Uses the author's name and the date of publication in the body of the text, and the bibliography is given alphabetically by the author. So you will use the name, author's name, as well as sometimes year of publication in the body of your manuscript, and it will be mentioned at the end of the manuscript in alphabetical manner. It is self-explanatory. You can see the name, year, article title, and subtitle, journal title, what is the title of the journal, and issue, and supplementary, and page numbers, from which page to which page in the journal it is appearing. If you are writing a reference from a book, then name, year, and title of the book, who published and where it is published, like that. When more than one author, you can add it all. So how it can be same like the references quoted in the first, that is article title, journal title, and issue number, then the pages from which it starts and where it ends. The second type of reference style is Vancouver reference style. Uses the number series to indicate the references. Here we use only the number of the reference in order how you are using it. Then same numbers should be ordered at the end of the manuscript. Uses a number series to indicate references. Bibliographies list this in numerical order as they appear in the text. So same article title, subtitle, journal, and pages. When you are writing a chapter title, it will be a little bit different, but it should have book title and edition number if it is, and who is the publisher and where it is published and what are the pages. So general advices on references. Each journal has its own style of references. So house style we call it as. Explain the instruction to the authors, read the instructions and examine a recent copy of the journal. So they will, most of the time you can download a copy of the journal so that you can see how the references are mentioned in the journal or what kind of reference format they are adapting for the journal. All references should be written in the same style with the same arrangement. Recent references are better than old ones. For example, you are planning for a study. For example, now in the year of 2020, you have to add the references at least for the past 5 years in more numbers. The other part of the references may include from the older version, maybe from another 15 years. So the recent references for 5 to 6 years, you have to add more in number. A book references is the least significance. So you have to give more number of references from the articles that are published in the reputed journals and relevant to your area of research. The integrity of the references is the responsibility of the authors only, neither the referee nor the journal. When you are quoting from a particular reference or mentioning a particular reference, you have to make sure that it is existing. Some journals have a maximum number of references that should not be exceeded. Most of the journals nowadays adopting the policy that you have to limit your references, maybe 40 or 60, like that. So when they are mentioning the number of references, you have to stick to that. So how the evaluation of references. If you are lax or loose with the references, you may have been lax with the entire paper. So if your references are not strong, that means what you are going to tell is not going to be considered for referring or refereeing purpose. It will not be published at any time of your publication process. So make sure you have a strong reference for your research so that reference will lift the content of your manuscript. How the reviewer will think is, you have read lot of references, you have read lot of information before writing to this article, before doing or before starting your research. So definitely this research will be having some point for the progress of scientific knowledge. That's how a reviewer, peer reviewer will think when he is reviewing your research article. So make sure you have very proper and very recent references to your manuscript. The tables, what are the objectives? Pick up the content without reading the text. So when you are mentioning any table in your article, it must give the information straight away. When we read, okay, this is what they have done and this is what their research is. So and another important thing, it must be the reveal of your results when we look it up. So make sure this is how your table should be. So what is more important to the reader, table or figure? So it is very common and mental aspect also. When we see figure, it's very easy for us to grasp the information. But when you need data, then you have to give the table. So general advice, table should provide additional information not present in the text to avoid redundancy. Table should be carefully designed to avoid repetition of the headings and to be simple, clear, not confusing. Table should be carefully designed to avoid a repetition of the headings and to be simple, clear, not confusing, and easy to follow. So, general advice, table must be condensed, avoid splitting of data. When you can give the data of your research in one particular table, don't make it for the sake of making table into different parts, or don't make too many tables. All possible relevant information should be presented together in one table. So tables comparing groups should contain their own statistical analysis. It has to be mentioned. If abbreviations are used, they should be explained at the bottom of the table what kind of abbreviations you are using, even if they were mentioned in the text. No matter you have mentioned all the abbreviations in the text, when you are mentioning any table or any abbreviation in the table, you have to mention below the table. Tables are usually written after the references, each table in a separate page having its own number and a title. Actually, when you are submitting the research article or your manuscript to the journal, the tables must be in a separate section. It should be started in a fresh page, and you have to write one table in one page, and it should follow the reference. So after reference only, you have to add your table. Be sure that a correct number of table appears in the correct place in the text. This is very, very important. I have seen many papers. Sometime from the reviewer's point, we used to get irritated when you are not mentioning any of your table number correctly in the text. Because when we see the table's number, and we'll go and read the content in your body of the text, the table information and the information which you are giving in the body, when it is not coinciding, then we will decide that what kind of writing is this, and we will not go further. Even if you are presenting a lot of good information, when you are not mentioning it properly, when you are failing to mention, because it may be because of your carelessness also. Sometime instead of putting table number 1, you have made table number 2 in the body. It may be a typographical error, but that gives a negative impact when we read the article, and so for that reason it happens the rejection. It leads to the rejection. So make sure you are mentioning your table number, correct number of table appears in the correct place in the text. Illustrations and figures not only grasp the message easily, but also hold it longer. When we see, that's what, one picture is worth 1,000 words. So no need to explain more why pictures or photos or the figures are important. So not to beautify the paper, but to convey information. See, when you're writing a manuscript, it is not necessary that you have to add the figure which is very colorful and which is very what we can say, very attractive, but it should have the information which should introduce, explain, and summarize. When we see the figure, we must identify what you are trying to tell. So illustrations and figures, the general advice, the back of each figure should be identified by its number, its top. Be sure that the correct number of the figure appears in the correct place in the text. Again, it's very important. You cannot give information for the wrong figure. So make sure you are placing the correct number in the body of the text. Legends will give information about the figure, what it tells. Legends of all figures are written in a separate page, usually after the tables. Do not write the legend above or below the figure. When you want to give a narrow description about your figure, you make it figure 1. You title them as a legend and figure 1, and you write the information about the figure 1. Then figure 2, figure 3, figure 4. This is what called as a legend. Legend should be complementary to the text, not repetitive. So you cannot give the same information which has been given in the context or your main body of your research paper. Do not distract the reader too long away from the text by writing too long legend. The legend should be precise and simple so that the reader must know what you are trying to convey to the reader. So abstract, as I told you, the first to appear and the last to be written. So generally, most of the journals nowadays, they are asking for a structured abstract. The abstract must contain 4 paragraphs carrying the following title. Generally, maybe some journals will be asking you to add a different aspect also. So objective, what is the aim of study? Materials and method. So what are the important materials and methods you have used? Most important data. Results, again, what kind of important data you are trying to give. And conclusion, what is your conclusion, what you want to tell to the scientific community or to any community which is reading your article. Most of the time, the abstract is varying from 150 to 300 words. They will not give more space or more words. They will restrict you to write your entire research into 300 words. So conclusions, all conclusions should be supported by the results of the study. A common mistake is to write a conclusion based on previous studies and not supported by your own result. This is very important. When you are writing a conclusion for your paper, the conclusion must be based on your finding, based on your results. It cannot be concluded. Your research paper cannot be concluded based on the previously published results or previously published data or manuscripts. Your conclusion should perfectly satisfy the objectives of the study. What was the objective? And it should be satisfied with your conclusion. So generally we have confusion between what is conclusion, what is summary, what is abstract. Let me simply give a brief idea about what are these 3 words exactly meaning. So conclusion, very few sentences expressing the message of the study. So I have found this. That is what conclusion is. So summary, it is an extended conclusion. It justifies and explains the conclusion. I have found this based on what was available. That is summary. Abstract, it contains the most important ideas. It is structured as objective, methods, result, and conclusion. So when you write abstract, I found this based on this result, following this method, because I selected this as my idea. So this is what abstract is. So what are the verb tense we can use while writing the manuscript? Introduction, always write in the present tense. Methods and results, it must be past tense. Discussion and conclusion in the present tense. Summaries, examples of styles. So these are some of the styles. Based on that, you have to write the summary. So they are available, freely available. Or when you go to the author section in the websites of the journal, you can find what kind of reference style, what kind of summaries, and a lot of information you can find on them. So suddenly we used to realize that the reference list had too many self-citation. So means it is nothing wrong when you have a greater publication history. Most of your research would have been highlighted in your research paper. So great peoples who have dedicatedly spending a lot of time on their research, when they are doing subsequent research, most of their research, past research will be highlighted in their present research, because they are chosen one particular field and they are marching progress step by step, and they have come far away from what they have started. So most of the time when you write a research article, it will have lot of your own published article. That means you are a very good researcher indeed. So these are subject and structure which we have discussed. Then we come to the mechanics of writing. This is very important irrespective of any discipline. I understand that our participants are from various fields. They are not only from life science, they are from social science and language as well. So this mechanics of writing, once we understand the mechanics of writing, that will help to bring a very good research article. So when there are multiple authors, only one must write the paper, because too many writers produce patchwork of different style, because every individual will have different aspect or different mindset. So it's better one must write and others can review. So authorship, like so many acquired skills, must start early in life. So it's not something which we can start writing today and tomorrow we can finish the paper. It must be a practice from our young age. So generally junior should write and senior should revise. Much research is written up too quickly. It happens sometime. You would have done a lot of research work past 2 years, 3 years like that, and you can write this paper in 2 or 3 months. And you should not expect all the research can be written in 1 or 2 weeks. So generally, if you are writing a manuscript, at least it should take 1.5 months or 45 days for you to bring the best form of your research paper. So it is wrong to believe that research which has taken 2 years to complete can be written satisfactorily in 2 weeks. It is not possible, and you should not try that. And you have to make sure you have written your research paper to most of your satisfaction. So what are the keys to successful writing? It has to be very clear and very simple, and you should have to have a good literature review, and we have to avoid the cardinal sins about the authors and cardinal sins of writing. This is very important. So what are the cardinal sins of writing? Lack of clarity. When we need to say something, we have to say in a straightforward manner. It should not be confusing to the reader. Repetition. Same information cannot be repeated. And wordiness. We may be excellent in language. For that purpose, we cannot make so poetical or something like that. Use of jargon. Don't use much technical words when it is not necessary. Then pretentious writing, that means you want to convey that you are so clever, so knowledgeable, like that. It is not necessary. The reviewer is not going to see that. The reviewer or the author, they are going to see who had written, what was his background. It has very limited impact, but they will see what you have written. So what are the cardinal sins of authors? So they are dual publication. Don't try to publish the same information for more than one journal. It is very bad, and it will spoil your reputation, and you cannot publish further. Then plagiarism. This one, everybody nowadays, the scientific community is more aware about the plagiarism. So we cannot claim others' research or others' intellectual ideas as our own. That is what plagiarism is. Then forgery. You see the picture is clearly explaining. Copying from somebody else. We should avoid that. So accepted and rejected. Size and quality do not go hand in hand. Always remember that when we write a very big research paper, it will be easily accepted. And when we write a small paper, it should be or it can be rejected. Not like that. So when you have a quality paper, It is not necessary that you have to make it as a very big research paper. So size doesn't matter. So that's why size and quality do not go hand in hand. The original article is like a human body. We have a human body and all parts are vital. Without the cooperation of all parts, the human body cannot move. So how it fits to the original article? The brain is aim of the study. The heart, which is study design. The body, materials and methods. The arms and legs, they are the results with which we can move. The dress, they are nothing but our external features like references, tables and figures. So the ID, the photograph of your manuscript, which is abstract, and that will be added more with the title. The soul of, that is the spirit, the soul of your article is conclusion. So make sure all these parts stick together so that a human body works in a perfect manner, like the research article which you are writing should have all these aspects. Then we come to the third part of our presentation, which is article submission. I will give you overall view because I need not to go into detail because most of you are very learned people. So this will be very much self-explanatory. You can, when you go through a particular journal's website, there are a lot of instruction for the authors. Sometimes they will give you PDF instruction for authors. Download it and read it carefully. They will give you all and indeed whole lot of information. So you read it. Indeed, for the beginning writer, the instruction for author, it itself will be a very huge task to understand what the journal tries to convey to the author. So seek the help of any senior person, what they are asking to do when you are trying to write. That will help you to write a better research article and submit it to the journal. So what are the aspects we have to think and consider when we are writing the, or after completing the article, and when we are trying to submit the article. Select your journal carefully. That is very important. You have to select, and that's what I told you, aims and scope of the journal. For example, when you are writing a research paper which is on, for example, in case of life science, immunology based research work, and it cannot be submitted to the journals which are focusing on another aspect of life science. For example, plants and their products. So immunological aspects cannot be or should not be aimed for a botanical journal, which is having another aim and scope for its reader. And then think about your target audience, whom and the level of your work. Do you have realistic chance of being accepted? You must think what kind of research work you have done, whether it will be suitable for a particular article or a particular journal which you have selected. Follow the guidelines in the notes for others and include everything they ask. It makes editor's job easier. Articles should not be submitted to more than one journal at a time. That's what I told you. It is a cardinal sin of an author. Online submission system is now available for almost all the journal. For example, in case of Elsevier system, they will have common ID for the submission of article in almost all their journal together. Any publisher who are having more than number of journals, maybe 15 journals, hundreds of journals, or some publishers like Elsevier, they have indeed thousands of journals in various disciplines. When we are trying to upload any article to any one of this leading publisher or reputed journal, they will have a common platform on which you have to register. The registration is very first stage before the submission. They will ask you, who are you, what is your name, where you are working, your experience, expertise, whether you are ready to be a reviewer, and what was your previous research history. Many information they will seek for registration. Once you are registered with that, then they will give you a separate unique ID for yourself. Then with that ID you can log in and you can upload your journal, your article to that particular journal. So many publishers now offer completely electronic submission to the process, but still there are some in the developing countries, some of the developing countries, they are having email communication. You can write, you can convert your research article into PDF format and you can submit to the editor through your mail. That is also working, but mostly nowadays online submission is predominant, and the reputed journals, they are adopting this online submission policy only. Article is submitted online and all of the review procedure also happens online. So you must understand why they are seeking online. Your papers are submitted, no physical papers are sent to the editor. You are sending the digital version, and that version will be sent to the reviewer. He will send the review report in a digital version to the editor. He will convey back to the author. So this will speed up the editorial process and is invaluable for authors in low income countries. So it is very important, because we cannot keep on sending by adding post or couriering through the courier service or speed post like that. So online submission make the process simple, and indeed it is economical. But in other way, some journals will charge for the publication. That is a different story. When you select the articles which are asking for publication, and you must be ready to pay for that, then only you have to select such a journals for the submission. So authors' priorities for the journal selection, on what based or on what aspect you have to select the journal. So impact factor, reputation, access to the target audience, whether the journal has more audience, overall editorial standard, whether they are having a very good peer review policy, publication speed, that is very important. Nowadays, a lot of scientific research are emerging in daily basis. Lot of articles are getting published because of the publication speed. International coverage, the article must be available all around the globe. And open access policy means it should be, when I want to download the article, I should download and I should read it. For this open access policy, the journal will ask you to pay, so that your article can be downloaded anywhere by anyone in the internet platform. So what are the marginal qualifying factors? Experience as a referee, track record, quality and color illustration, service elements. These are something which are marginal factors. Journal selection for authors, as I told you, impact factor, reputation, quality and prestige, access to the target audience or specialization, overall editorial standard, publication speed, international coverage, habit and previous publication, and how long the journal is existing, open access and participating publisher, and some other aspects also. So after submission, you have to wait. Most journal editors will make an initial decision on a paper, how it works, to review or to reject. When they see your paper, when they read it, your title and abstract, they will find whether this article is suitable for their aim and scope, for the aim and scope of the journal. So immediately they will make a decision. They will say either this is not falling in our objective or scope, so you can submit to another journal, or they will say that okay, this is accepted for review purpose. Most editors appoint 2 referees, mostly 2 or sometimes 3. Refereeing speed varies tremendously between the journals. That's why very reputed journals, they will give time, maybe 10 days, 15 days for the referee or peer reviewer to give their review report. Others should receive a decision of accept. Sometime it will be straightly accepted. It is very less. Most of the journals, they will ask you for a review. And if you are having a high quality research background as well as high impact and lot of discoveries, inventions, and patents, then there is a chance of acceptance. And another thing, accept with revision. It may be a minor revision or a major revision, or it can be rejected. If the paper is rejected, that is not the end of the world. Most editors will write to you explaining their decision. They will say why it is rejected. After rejection, authors have the option of submitting the paper to the another journal. So don't get dejected when our paper is getting rejected. That means they are giving more inputs and how to improve your research paper. So how the review process is working: paper submitted, confirmation of the receipt, initial decision by the editor. Either it can be rejected or it can be accepted for review. Then they will assign the reviewers. Reviewers accept and invite. The reviewers will complete the report, and it can be either revise, accept. If it is rejected, notification to the author, and they will say revise, and revision is received, and the revision is checked, and it will be accepted. And once it is accepted, it will be sent to the publisher for publication process. So publishing tips: editors and reviewers are looking for original and innovative research that will add to the field of study. Keys for research-based papers: ensure that you have enough numbers to justify sound statistical conclusions. For larger study, it may be better to produce one important research paper rather than a number of average incremental paper. When you have a very good long research, you try to publish in a very good research article in a very good reputed journal as a single paper. You can see I am having this many data and I can make this as one paper and that as another paper and that another data as another paper, so that I will boast myself that I have 4 or 5 publications like that. It is not necessary. When even if you have one quality publication, that will speak a lot. So these are some of the information where you can see about different aspect of writing and publishing your research article. Hands-on activity: how to submit a journal article. This is a list compiled by the Grace Ajuan, an author from Nigeria. Read the instruction for the authors carefully. Format manuscript in line with the journal style, very important. Send the manuscript to the journal editor and await for the acknowledgement. Wait for reviewers' comments. Address all the comments of the reviewers. When they ask you to add something or to edit, and when they are asking some queries, you must be ready to answer for them. That is what revision is. Keep to deadline for submission of revised manuscript. When they say you have to submit before this date, try to submit before that. Return the revised manuscript to the editor with a point-by-point response to the reviewer's comment. When they say these are the aspects must be questioned or answered, you have to give your answer point to point what the reviewers are asking. Read the proof sent by the editor and ensure that everything is okay. Return the proof back to the editor before the deadline. Complete and return copyright form to the editor. So whenever a process is over, the journal will ask you to sign the copyright agreement. You have to sign and scan and send. Wait to see the article in print or online. Most of the reputed publishers nowadays, they will publish it online immediately with digital object identifier, and in print it will be coming little late. So online publication is earlier. Once it is accepted, in a day or two it will be existing in online. If the manuscript is rejected at the peer review level, revive it using the reviewer's commands and send to another journal. So as I told you earlier, never get dejected. It's possible that somehow, somewhere in the beginning, your article may not be accepted immediately for publication, but when you keep on trying, it will be in the another journal. So sequence of writing, choose something worthwhile to report before writing. As I said, you have to have some strong content to write. Search the literature and read the journals. You have to study a lot of information. Then collect the information. Write a professional title. Look at the proposed journal. Sequence of writing, how you have to start writing. First write the materials and method, then results, then discussion, then 4 introduction. Finally, you have to write your abstract, title, etc. So second version, arrange the ideas in their correct sequence, carefully revise the tables, illustration and figures, examine the whole paper and ask yourself 3 questions. Is this item is necessary? Is it in the correct section? Or all necessary items are included? Because this is what make the reviewer irritated. When you are not properly presenting your information in a structured way, in an ordered way, they will see that you are highly indisciplined or you are highly lethargic in presenting your information. So make sure you are making everything in its place. The third version, discriminate between what is primary and what is secondary importance. So the primary objective must be focused more, and if it is not necessary, you can remove it. So ask yourself the following questions: what can be shortened? What information can be shortened? What can be simplified? How it can be simplified? What can be collected altogether? Sometimes you will be telling related information in more than one places. You can make it in a collected form, and sometime you will come to know after reading twice or thrice, you will see that this is irrelevant to my paper. Then you can omit it. So what should be omitted? So finalize the references, write the abstract and summary. That is what the last thing, and choose the final title. So final version, revise and test the style. Every statement must be tested. Expressive, simple and concise. Be sure of the meaning of every word. Revise spelling, grammar and syntax. So ask the co-authors to check. Once you are satisfied, give your co-authors to check it. Ask the consultant with the reviewer experience to read it independently. So the third person who may be or who might have been served as a reviewer for various journals. If you are giving your paper to them, they will read and tell you some comments, so that will be beneficial because they will see from a reviewer's point of view. So common reason why our paper get rejected, the article is not relevant to the journal. That is very first thing you have to focus. You have to select the suitable journal. The paper is not styled for the journal. So it is not in the style of journal. So poorly designed trial, that means your research is too weak. And another important thing, badly written manuscripts. Even though you are having strong research ideas, but it is not well explained. The conclusions are unjustified. Even you have done, but you don't know how to conclude it. Then the final thing is reviewer editor bias. That also is there, but it is meager. So golden advice, start now. Writing, like every other art, cannot be learned wholly from the books or lectures. But the art, the craft can be learned only on the job. So you cannot write a paper all of a sudden sitting overnight and spending long nights to write the research article. It is art, it will come once you try and try. So start now. Again, the best teacher is to start, to go and keep going. So when you keep on writing, the art of writing will come to you easily. The act of writing, like surgical technique, has to be learned the hard way by practice only. So practice makes man perfect and experience makes man expert. And another thing, do not stop. Once you start, you have to finish. So anyone can stop writing, but only a writer can finish. So you can start writing and you can give away. But if you are a good writer, definitely you will finish it. So in spite of all your hard work, the paper may still be rejected. Do not be discouraged. Use the reviewer's command to write the better manuscript. So what are the words and the expression to avoid jargons and a considerable amount of much? Simply on account of because number of several referred to as called in number of cases some has the capacity to can. It is clear that clearly it is opined that apparently employ, use, fabricate, make. So these are some of the words generally you can use in your manuscripts. Word choice, examine versus analyze, activity to gain knowledge versus describing the analysis that knowledge, Bloom's taxonomy, knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis and evaluation. So what is knowledge, what is comprehension, what is application, synthesis and evaluation? They are briefly explained. So hope this discussion will helpful to all the participants and all the viewers to make a better manuscript, those who are writing as well as those who are going to write a research paper in near future. Wish you all the very good luck, and I am ready to answer your queries if there is any. Thank you. Thanks one and all.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, you can.
Thank you for nice presentation.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
I
sir.
have one question for you.
Yeah, sure.
According to the reference, sir, if you want to use for example, foreign literatures which is not written in English, for example, in China, in Russia, literatures. So how we can write the reference? How we can show in the APA style? How we can indicate it?
Okay. I'm getting your point. Okay. Sir, actually, when you want to quote any reference which is not in the language of your manuscript, you have to adopt the policy of the journal. You have to write to the editor or publisher what kind of reference, if it is in the other language other than the journal's language. For example, as you said, if you want to mention a Chinese reference and you can translate it and you can refer, but you have to give detailed information about that reference, and you have to seek the guidance of the editor, because sometimes they will ask you to quote the native version as well as the translated version. Some people will ask you to write only translated version. Some people will ask you to write only the native version. So it depends upon the journal. So you have to write to the editor of the journal. That's why I told you, you just download and see the model journal, whether they are adopting what kind of policy, and you can stick to that and you can mention your reference. But definitely the reference from any language will be accepted, but unless you are not mentioning it in a native form as well as in the translated form.
Sir, what is the weightage of correspondence author in the manuscript, sir?
Madam?
What is the weightage? How they will consider the correspondence author in the research manuscript?
Okay, I'm getting it. Actually, corresponding author, the background of the corresponding author is very much looked upon by the reviewers. Means corresponding author, from where the article is coming, who is the corresponding author. what was his research background. That's why when you are a beginner or a junior researcher, it is better to cooperate or go with a senior professor or any person who is senior in your field, who had already have publication histories. So make sure you are going with your senior person, so that he will be more known for this publication field, and his research would have been made a lot of impact. So when you go with him, the more weightage will be given to your article for publication. But it doesn't mean that because you have a very good person as a corresponding author, if you are having a very poor idea in your manuscript, it doesn't warrant you to publish your article in any one of the journal. It's not like that. The
Hello, sir.
corresponding author is a kind of guide. That's it.
Hello, good morning,
Hello,
Dr. Anil Kumar.
Yeah.
Just talk to you, yeah? Doctor, I would like to know
Hello.
what is. I think you can hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
can
Yes.
hear you, sir. Yeah, you can tell me, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the difference between peer-reviewed as well as the refereed? There are two things. Peer-reviewing, refereed journals. What difference
Yes,
makes-
sir. Yes, very good point, sir. Actually, peer-reviewed, refereed, they are interchangeably used. But you cannot be cheated by seeing this peer-reviewed or refereed journal, because both of them have good impact. You have to, before publication, you have to see the impact factor only, and that too from previously it was Thomson Reuters. Now they have taken another organization has taken that. So peer-reviewed, refereed journals, both are in similar context only they are using. But you go for peer-reviewed journal and see what is the impact, what is the publication history. These are the information you have to see before going for publication. Whether it is refereed or peer-reviewed, no problem, but you see whether it is proper journal with a proper editorial board and proper impact factor.
Good
Hello,
morning,
sir.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Sir, how many authors can be there in a research article, sir?
No numbers, madam. No number limitation. Mostly 6, 7, no problem. 6, 7 is can also be accepted, unless otherwise the journal says that only 3 authors or 4 authors are accepted. So 6, maximum 6 or 5 members as a research team, you can make your research article.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Sir, I haven't understood this legends to figures, and whatever papers I have seen till now for mathematics, that references was the last topic. I've never seen tables, figures, or legends to figures below it. Is it applicable to all the subjects?
No, madam. Actually, what you are asking is right. What we are trying to tell is, when you are writing the paper, the tables after the reference and the legends, then figures. It doesn't mean that they will be published as it is. When you are submitting, this is the general format. When you are trying to submit the paper to the journal's editorial office, you have to stick to this sequence. So it is not the sequence on which the paper is published. So make sure when you are submitting, it should be after the reference. But after publication, it will be existing only in the main body of the manuscript only. So they will ask you to submit at the end, but they will include in its right place, because they will format, no, the manuscript you will be giving in 8 or 10 pages. They will format in column wise, they will separate, they will find a suitable place, they will fix the reference, the figures and tables in its appropriate place. It is a kind of desktop publishing work. So it is not meaning that they will be existing at the end. It will be in the body only.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome, madam. I think
Hello.
now I have to give away the forum to the next speaker, and he is ready to
Hello,
present
sir.
because yes,
Sir, sir, I have a question, sir.
yeah, please, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah,
Actually, sir, my name is Justice Das. I'm working in Central Agriculture University. Sir, my question is that when we are submitting our paper to any journal, some
Yes,
journals
sir.
are asking for reviewers, and we are proposing reviewer names, but they are not giving their names for review because once I have tried and given the reviewer names of 3 persons, but they are not sending out paper to them, sir. Why?
okay. Actually, there is a trick from the journal side. You have to understand that. Actually, what they want to do is they want to add the repository of reviewers. So they cannot. They can ask you directly. If, for example, if some journal is asking me as a reviewer, I may say no. But when my friend is asking that, sir, can I have you as a reviewer? I will say yes. So somehow my information goes to the journal's repository. So they can use myself as a reviewer for another article. So it is not sure or it is not mandatory that the reviewers whom you are suggesting will be used for the reviewing purpose of your own manuscript. So don't think that when we submit the reviewer's name, they will be sent to the manuscript. So it is not like that.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Sir, what is the category of?
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Sir, what is the meaning? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello.
anyone can ask questions.
Yeah.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Good
Sir,
morning. Good morning, sir.
I have one question.
Yeah.
One question, sir.
Yeah,
sir,
please, sir.
Generally, in India, means which journal can be say the national journal and international journal?
Okay. Sir, I could not hear you properly, sir. In India?
Hello.
In
In
India?
India, like sir, journals under Elsewhere, Springer,
Yeah.
that we know that
Yeah.
they are the well-reputed international and others also. But like many journals, they are writing international journal of this. But they are
Okay.
from the suppose country from India. So how we can decide in writing either it is a national journal or international journal?
Okay. Sir, actually, the journal's place does not decide that it is a national journal or international journal. The scope of the journal and the audience of the journal and the editorial board and the peer reviewing committee by which they are constituting and the quality of publication and the editorial policies, all this makes us a international journal. For example, there will be a simple name of the journal, Immunology, but it has to be, it would have been published from a very advanced country like from German, and they will be having their audience all over the world. They have published a lot of journals over the 40 years. So this makes that journal as a international journal. Now in India, they will say International Journal of Pharmacology, for example. They will say International Journal of Pharmacology. And when you see, they will be publishing the articles of our own country and or particularly neighboring countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. So the scope and the publication history and the editorial board, that makes the journal as a international or national. So you see that when you see the journal, see the aim and the scope, editorial board and the past publication history when they are submitting the research article from all around the world, and when they have great impact, and then only you can consider it as a international journal, reputed international journal indeed, or else it will be of a national journal only.
Sir, what is the meaning of conflict of interest that some journal required by the end of article? Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest, that means you are taking the responsibility of the information which you are furnishing. You are the sole responsible for all the information you are furnishing, and in case of any ethical and legal issue comes, and you are the one who have to address, and the editors and the journal does not take any responsibility to face any legal action. For example, you are publishing one research idea, and some people objecting that this idea was already published, then they cannot blame the journal. They have to blame the person who have published. So there is a information passed on between these two people, not between the journal and the objector.
Okay.
Hello,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
What
Maybe
is
a
the
last-
difference
this might be a
between
last
script and
question.
research paper, sir?
Sir,
Hello. Hello, sir.
because I have to give the way to the another speaker. Already he is available. Already we are 10 minutes late for his
Sir, good morning.
presentation. So this could be the last question, sir.
Last
Please, sir.
question. Yes.
Hello,
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Research paper.
So can you speak? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Please.
We can hear. This is Professor Dhumne from Maharashtra.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, my question is that how do I choose a proper journal to publish my research paper?
Very good, sir. Very basic thing you have asked, but a very important one. Sir, actually, you see, for example, you are doing in a particular area, you type that as a keyword. For example, botany. When you put botany, this is a broader version. You will get lot of botanical journals. Botanical journal you put, that will be listed. Then you see, for example, in botany, if you are having something related to physiology or plant growth or something related to application, then from that you select a particular journal which falls under your aim or objective of study. So whenever you need to publish your article, you select a list of journals, maybe 10 or 15 journals you select, and read the scope, aim and scope of the journal. So they will be clearly mentioning what kind of articles they will accept. In some journals, they will say what kind of articles they will not accept. So aim and scope of the journal will give a clear idea on which journal you can submit your article for publication. So always try to look at that aspect. It is available on the home page of the journal's website. So aim and scope of the journal, read it clearly. When it defines your particular area of interest, then you can go and see the publications, see the previously published research papers, whether those research are in your standard, or if they are beyond your research idea, then go for another journal. So this is how you have to select the journals for publication. Give a broad keyword, select 20 or 25 journals, then shorten to 10 or 15 journals which falls in your aim and scope. Then see what kind of research they have published in the past, and make sure you are eligible in that research category, means that standard of research category. Then select that journal. If not, you go for a simple journal which will be more suitable for your research ideas. I hope I have answered to your queries.
Last request,
Thank you very
please
much,
share
sir.
your mail ID. So please share your mail ID.
Sure, madam. The organizers will share the mail ID, madam. Thank you
Yeah, it
for
was very
listening
nice.
me patiently. Thank you, madam.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Can you hear me, sir? Hello, sir.
Sir, actually, speaker has
not available.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Sir, you can ask a question. We will post you his mail ID, sir. Any clarification, any doubts from any
I'm
participants,
sending
you
WhatsApp.
can.
I'm sending WhatsApp, sir.
Okay, sir. No
Share
problem.
the mail ID right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we will share his mail ID right now in the group itself. We will make it. Any clarification further, you can just contact them. So now that
Hello.
yes, sir. Yeah, now that 15 minutes break for second session. So again, all of them assemble by 12 o'clock. So we have another speaker from Maharashtra in the shape of research in commerce. So he is already joined in the group. So now another 15 minutes, you can take a break. Then you can again come and join. So he will be speaking about research in economics and commerce. So that is also one of the good aspect of research point. So all other participants kindly join by another 10 to 15 minutes with the same link itself. So thank you all. Thank you. Guru, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. It is audible, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Nice, sir. Sir, actually, you just share your presentation, sir. We will check it before into the another 10 minutes.
Can I upload?
Yes, sir. You can. You have that mic phone near to the up arrow will be there. It is there, no, sir. Mic button. First one is a video button. You can show the video. Then again, it is a microphone. Then third is a share.